I first decided that I'm interested in this particular subject, inspired by the Amarous Delight. It's a 9th century anthology on love in Sanskrit that was written, and it was illustrated in two palm leaf illustrations, only two palm leaf illustration in Odisha. And it so happens that the scholar is a collaborator of mine, Dr. Dinath Pati, who has just recently passed away after the performance. When we did it, we wanted to find a collaborator in Odisha itself, because I was doing that work, Ganjam, and since a friend of mine, Meera Das, had a festival, so we thought perhaps we should then present it in that festival. So it's done very fast, and because it could have been better, I decided to concentrate on it in Malaysia, literally a few months after Ganjam, in 2016. We did it. We had a second run of Ganjam itself, and then Amarous Delight took place in July. And Dinanath Pati, my collaborator of this, died in August. So it's almost one after the other, and it's not unusual for me to do a second season, because the first season, like Ganjam, was done at Istana Budaya for only. It was so good that we wanted to do a second season, and it went very well also. So the same here also. So it had its world premiere in Odisha, then it was the Malaysian premiere last year, and this year, because it was held in a smaller place at the epik, Damansara Performing Arts Centre, with a seating of just about 200 people, and the audience was very happy with it, was very enthusiastic. It's different from what we normally do. We do usually very spectacular work, but this work is much more subtle, much more exquisite in the way the abhinaya, or the expression, or the expressive part of the work is delineated to express these verses. Yeah. So we had it in epik last July. Now we're going to have it again. And we decided to have it in a bigger theatre at Kelpak from the 15th to 19th of March, as also a fundraising. Normally every year we have a fundraising. So Amarous Delight, inspired by Amarous Delight, the palm leaf illustration, is going to be done again from the 15th to the 19th. So that's the kind of the genesis of Amarous Delight. This is an arts foundation that concentrates also on visual and performing arts. It's not a profit-making foundation. So we have activities that span exhibition, span performances, span teaching. Yeah. So we do communicate with the public. When we talk about the arts, it's amazing how one justify the existence of the arts when the arts give quality to life. I think the kind of KPIs that is more geared to profit making and all that doesn't apply to the arts. It's very difficult for you to look at KPIs in terms of, say, the Mat Yong or the Menorah or the Chinese opera, and yet this represents the psyche of the people. It's the inner thing, and this is where the serious arts represent the kind of the inner landscape of the individual, the community, and also eventually the nation. And we need to cultivate that. We need to build up the nation's character from the serious arts. And I think this is where we look at also the fact that we function on a broader base perspective of culture. We are not looking at monoculture, say the Malay culture. Just the Malay culture, which is a dominant culture here, it does not represent the whole of Malaysia. And the world is like that now. You look at New York or you look at Australia now, they function on broader based cultural perspectives. There's so many immigrants that have come, and they contribute to the richness. After all, whether it's American, previously there is indigenous culture. Previously there might be another culture. There might be dinosaurs that we have killed before that, and other marsupials in Australia, or the Australian Aborigines, whatever. But now we embrace and become more exclusive, and Sutra Foundation is about that, to promote that. And I think creativity does not lie in governments. Creativity must be for the people. The government should just encourage, provide the kind of fertile ground where creativity then functions. And creativity is, these are the software, the social sciences. I'm not just talking about dance, I'm just talking about literature, music, arts. These are the things that are going to make people not just happier, people celebrate being a human being. Yeah. And it's like building huge, big, tall buildings. What do you put the content in it? This is where Sutra Foundation comes in. We provide that. We have also one of the things that I want to discuss with you is the outreach program of the empowerment of people. Sometimes I do think that Kuala Lumpur has become a bit too spoiled. Too many things are happening, too many artistic, cultural exhibition, music, whatever it is, concentrated because it's power base of the nation. But what about people outside? They won't come in because of traffic jam, because it's very difficult to come in. So we bring them out. We bring the culture out. So this has been an interesting, not just experiment, interesting commitment, investment on our part, and he has taken shape. It's producing very interesting result. We are also putting in the young dancers. Dancers, very young teenagers from 10 to even about 13, 14, to be included in this. And they have been performing quite regularly in Kuala Lumpur. But I thought maybe they have to come into this production.